Welcome back to the news at 10. Let's cross over to Abuja now. Here's Linda Akigbe. Linda.
Hello, Ijoman. Welcome back to Abuja. The governor of Bauchi State has been explaining the circumstances surrounding the resignation of his deputy, Nuhu Gidado. Governor Mohammed Abubakar told journalists after a meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari in the State House that he is on a mission to change the way things are done in the state, which appears not to sit well with some people. However, he said his relationship with the former deputy governor was cordial. In a move that took many people by surprise, Mr. Gidado announced his resignation, citing lack of enthusiasm. Stiffer penalties for perpetrators of violence against children will help address the increasing cases of child abuse across the country. This is being advocated by the Minister of Women Affairs, Mrs. Aisha Al-Hassan, when speaking at a news conference in Abuja. The minister is calling for the establishment of family courts to try child offenders. And that's all from Abuja. Back to Kayode on Business News.
Thank you, Linda, and welcome to Business News. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, has endorsed a proposal on the use of the core principles for Islamic finance regulation. The principles were developed by the Islamic Financial Services Board with the participation of a secretariat of the Basel Committee on Banking Supervision. In a statement, the IMF sees the adoption of the principles aid in banking supervision, especially in dual banking systems where Islamic banking is systematically significant. The principles are also expected to complement the international architecture for financial stability while providing incentives for improving the prudential framework of the Islamic banking industry across jurisdictions. Implementation of the principle takes effect from January the 1st, 2019. And shareholders of Foremost Insurance, Pension and Asset Management Group (ICO) have approved the financial statement of the group for the 2017 financial year. The group, which also had its total dividend of 347 million naira endorsed, says it plans to sustain its life business model in the competitive industry.
Thank you for all your contributions.
Hundreds of shareholders at the 48th Annual General Meeting of ICO Insurance PLC. Another opportunity for the investors to receive financial statements from the directors and statutory committees on the company's performance for the fiscal year ended 2017. A glance at the financial position of the company shows a record of 32.1 billion naira in premiums, an improvement of 19% compared to the preceding year. The value of the company's asset also increased by 26% from 8.7 billion naira in 2016 to 10.9 billion naira in 2017. Despite a drop in profits, shareholders approved dividends of over 300 million naira payouts.
I move that a dividend of 5 kobo amounting to 346,510,225, subject to withholding tax, be and is hereby declared in respect of out of profit for the year ended December 31, 2017.
The meeting also says the election and re-election of directors and some shareholders as members of the Statutory Audit Committee. As ICO Insurance turns 55 this year, investors speak on the success so far.
What I can say is our culture, the culture that we have built over the years, and we are continuing to build, has supported our success so far. And supporting our culture, our people, our focus on people, our employees. They are very critical to everything that we have done and we have been able to do. And in fact, more importantly, our customers.
I have to rate this their performance for this year. I can't give 100%, but I can give 99%.
The management of the company looks to consolidate its antecedents and continue its journey to becoming the leading non-bank financial service group in Nigeria.
The Nigerian financial market remains one of the most advanced in the continent. At a thought leadership discussion series of Professional Services Organization FITC, regulators and operators brainstormed on how to strengthen and facilitate its banking system for sustainable economic growth.
For the regulator,
strengthening the banking system for sustained economic growth is the issue on the table at this gathering. This panel, drawn from the regulators, operators and the banking public, dig deep into the issues.
We need a lot of honesty from the banking system so that we can trust you, so that we can have confidence in the system. And when we have confidence in the system, then of course things will start getting better.
Of what use is free money you give to somebody and 60% of that money is spent to generate power, and you are expecting growth? You are expecting a nexus between that kind of credit advancement and economic growth. It won't happen.
Corporate governance for banks is also key.
The sovereign governance has impact on everybody doing everything. That at the end of the day, banks can do their role, but when there's misalignment with fiscal policy and monetary policy, we keep going around in circles.
The liberalization of the foreign exchange market is dealt with as well.
Nigeria should consider liberalizing its foreign exchange regime even more than is the case at the moment. And I say this with the fullest love for Nigeria. We look at Nigeria as our flagship for Africa. We are keen to see Nigeria continue to be strong.
I believe that is the direction we are headed. What we have seen is partial liberalization, and I believe that as we stabilize, as the economy begins to grow, it will be in our best interest to continue that journey. Eventually, we'll get to a point where we have full liberalization, and that should actually spur growth.
As the event winds down, organizers say their hope is that key policies developed from these discussions will leave a lasting impact on the national economy. And elsewhere, bears dominated the local bourse today as the all-share index closed in the red, the 7th straight session and the 4th consecutive weekly decline. Chimeze Obi-Iwagu tells us more.
Thank you, Kaide, and welcome to the Stock Market Report. Bearish sentiment continued at the equities markets today, disappointing some traders who were hopeful for a reversal. The all-share index was down by 1.01%. The dampened investor sentiments cut across major sectors except oil and gas, all thanks to gains recorded by MRS. The banking sector was a major drag, with GT Bank and Zenith leading the losses. Market breadth was negative. 12 stocks posted gains, while 42 posted declines. In all, the total volume of trade improved from yesterday's close at 295.9 million shares, worth 2.94 billion naira in 4,911 deals. The significant loss recorded on Thursday and today suggests a need for cautious trading by investors in the meantime. However, analysts and traders believe long-term fundamentals still support patient investment in equities. And that was the Stock Market Report. I'm Chimeze Obi-Iwagu. Back to you now, Kayode.
Thank you, Chimeze. Well, markets around the world closed in different directions today as investors focused on the cancellation of talks between North Korea and the United States. Let's show you the posture of some of the markets for today. And that's business news. I am Kayode Okikyolu. It's now back to you, Ejioma.
Thanks a lot, Kayode. The Niger Delta Development Commission has asked any individual or organization willing to help develop the region to come and partner with the Commission. The Managing Director of the NDDC, Nsema Ekere, stated this while hosting the General Officer commanding 6th Division of the Nigerian Army in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. On its part, the Army says it wants to provide security in all parts of the region and is doing everything it can to achieve success.
You are welcome.
This meeting between the management of the Niger Delta Development Commission and some officers and men of the 6th Division of the Nigerian Army in Port Harcourt, the River State capital, is one of familiarization.
Kindly invite him to...
There's a new General Commanding Officer at the division who is here to inform them of some projects ready for commissioning.
We are all partners in progress in Niger Delta. Our role and other security agency is to make sure we provide the enabling environment. We all know what the NDDC is here for. It is also to ensure one of the lifeline of the Nigerian economy is secure. We are here for that. We will continue to do what the military has been doing under my past predecessors here, and we will work towards improving on that relationship.
Please know our apology.
The managing director of the NDDC sees the projects as a fulfillment of what the commission stands for.
We decided to complete ongoing projects, and we dedicated 70% of our budget to ongoing projects. In year 2018, 80% of the budget will be for ongoing projects. So we believe that the resources that's coming into the region should be used positively and used judiciously. There's no need to start new projects and scatter abandoned projects or completed projects all over the region. The people of the region will not be able to take advantage of these investments until the projects are completed.
Beyond this office meeting, both men say they are ready to do everything within their resources to ensure the development and security of the state and the entire region.